Hi, I'm Ed Alexander, business attorney and founder of Alexander Abramson. Welcome to our video series on selling your law practice. Today we're going to talk about the saleable asset concept. Is your firm a saleable asset? So I think the first thing we should kind of talk about is, what is the value of a firm? Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds and into the numbers. I'm just going to talk at a 30,000 foot level. But any buyer coming into your firm is going to want to know that that buyer can make the income out of that firm, that they can jump into the driver's seat and continue to drive your firm and generate that exact income. And I think it's important here. I like to use analogies. I think the analogy here is an automobile, right? Most, if not all of you, have purchased an automobile. And just because you want to sell an automobile doesn't mean that anybody's actually going to buy it, right? They're going to do an analysis of that automobile and make sure that it's got some useful life left to it. And that really does apply in a lot of cases to whether or not you have a saleable asset that is your law firm. What we're looking at is income flow. And so when we take a look at a firm, one of the most important things we look at is how much of the cash that's coming into the firm is flowing out to the owner. As a general rule, you should be getting a benefit of about 33 cents for each dollar that comes into your firm, so 33%. Now, not all of that is going to flow out in terms of your salary or whatnot. There are other benefits that are coming out to you. The firm pays for your automobile, it pays for some health insurance for you, it pays a number of different things. Those are all aggregated together. But overall, we want to look at that. So why do we want to look at that? Well, we want to look at that because the firm ends up paying for itself. So when you transfer it to a buyer, that cash flow then is used by the buyer to pay you or to pay a lending institution, a bank or the SBA or whatnot, back for the purchase. And so that's the fact of that continuing is a risk. So what reduces the risk of the buyer? What reduces that risk is obviously cash flow. We want a very consistent cash flow that's at or near the target of the firms that are available, right? So again, that 33% number, what's that cash flow? How does the buyer know that the clients are going to continue? Well, there's a couple of things. First, do we have a good client intake system? Do we have employees who know how to bring clients in? Is there a process for getting them engaged? Is there a process for bringing them in as marketing, right? Do we have a good marketing system? Do we have good referral sources? Are we communicating with them on a regular basis? Is there a good social media presence, website? Do we have a comprehensive operation that brings clients in and then from there manages their cases and works on their cases to generate the revenue that we want to generate? So what does that mean? That means that there are certain things that make our asset unsaleable. And so obviously if we have vast gyrations in cash flow, 1 year things are well, the next year things are horrible. That means that the firm is very risky in terms of a buyer. What if we have one or two clients that account for 30 or 40 or 50% of gross revenue? Again, a big issue because the buyer is going to come in and look at that and say, well, what happens if one of those clients leaves, right? Do we have a lack of internal systems? Are we relying on our assistant who's been there 20 years, who has all of the knowledge in her head and could leave tomorrow after we sell the firm, right? So that then is a much higher risk for the buyer. Or do we have well-documented systems where we can bring somebody from the outside and they can be productive in, 2 weeks, 30 days, something along those lines. Now, it's important to remember that many of these things can be fixed. So if you have aspects of your firm that are unsaleable, all is not lost. We just need some time. And many of you probably heard about the Pareto rule, right, which is also known as the 20-80 rule. And that means that 80% of the benefit comes from 20% of the inputs. We can help you identify the 20% of the areas that need improvement to get you that 80% of the benefit, so that at the end of the day, you go from a firm that has some issues to a firm that is a saleable asset. And if we have enough time, those issues can be long in the past as we build up the cash flow, as we build up the processes that make this firm saleable. Now, the important thing to remember is you can't get burned out. If you have an unsaleable firm, a lot of attorneys will get burned out, and they'll start referring cases out. They'll start going down that process of slowing down and maybe closing down the firm. And if you have any hope of selling, you want to maintain that firm, grow that firm, and improve that firm. Now, the good news about this, and I'm not going to go into the trite things about more income means more value, right? Because maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But the good thing about this is that as you go through this, as you improve the firm and look at what makes it a saleable asset, two things are going to happen. The first is your life is going to get better as an attorney. And the second is you're going to make more money out of the firm. And those things going along really help define whether or not you have a saleable asset. If you are working a normal work week for attorneys, if you are not working on the weekends and not putting in crazy hours, the likelihood is that you've got a saleable asset already. So just some things to consider. Of course, we can go into the details of your particular firm through our sale readiness assessment. As a successful attorney, you should be excited about the prospect of selling your law firm and realizing the benefits of the hard work that you put into building it. With the right advisors, you can profitably and successfully sell your law practice. Regardless of your time frame, your first step to capitalizing on the investment you made is to develop a succession plan that works for you. Call or email us today to ask about our sale readiness assessment. During your sale readiness assessment, we'll help identify your firm's strengths and weaknesses and develop a transition strategy that fits your particular circumstances. Until next time, thanks for watching.